Hello and welcome to SParkcasts. In this special edition, we have a very special guest, the principal of Sardar Patel Institute of Technology, Dr. B.N. Chaudhari, who brings decades of experience and a very unique insight to this table. Spurti, the General Secretary of the Student Council, is going to ask him quite a few questions along with her team of council members. And we hope that by the end of this session, a lot of questions that you may have about the engineering curriculum, about education, and SPIT in particular will get clarified. Am I right, Spurti?
Yes, sir, definitely. In today's segment, our principal, sir, would be answering some of the most commonly asked questions and doubts of a student who's just finished his 12th. And questions related to, in general, how one should select his college, or should he give priority to a branch or a college, what are the future prospects of a particular branch, or in general more about SPIT altogether.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's take it over from Shravani.
So what is the difference between learning in Bachelor of Engineering and Bachelor of Technology?
If you look at, these are the words being used by different institutions. Many prefer engineering, many prefer technology. Normally, I feel that engineering is close to the sciences. Right? Engineering is more theoretical, analytical, whereas technology is more applied. So sciences, engineering and technology, this is a sequence. But in our country, this terminology is used very loosely. You know, what are the best institutions of our country? We say IIT Bombay is a great institution, IIT Delhi is a great institution, Kanpur is great, old IITs are great. If you look at the NRF ranking, international ranking, these our institutions are coming in top slots in the country. However, they give the BTech degrees since the inception of IITs. 60 years back, they felt we shall give the technology degrees, whereas all other colleges like state colleges, private colleges started giving the engineering degrees. So it is loosely used. I would say our IIT graduates are more analytical in nature. Education is more theoretical and rigorous in nature in IITs, whereas they give the technology degrees, and whereas the state colleges which are more applied, hardly they talk about sciences, hardly they talk about the mathematical background that necessitates the engineering, but they give the engineering degrees. Today in society, it's a accepted notion that autonomous colleges should give the technology degrees. So we were also giving the engineering degrees till we became autonomous. We were giving Bachelors of Engineering till 2018, and now since we have become autonomous, we are giving BTech degrees.
Yes, sir.
I hope I answered your query.
Yes, sir. Sir, so what is the difference between deemed universities and private universities?
Actually, deemed universities and private universities. I would also add to that, there is another term being used as a public university. So universities in our country are of different type. One is a private Mumbai University. For example, we are an affiliated institution of Mumbai University, Pune University, or Kolhapur University. Names have been changed now. These universities are the public universities, and we have developed over the decades an affiliated model of education. Okay, so several institutions are attached to those universities. Those are public universities which are publicly funded, and for whatever reasons we have developed this model of affiliated university where several institutions are attached to the university Thankfully, we have, as a country, we have decided we will stop this, and we will, by 2035, we shall break this model in totality. Right? There will not be any affiliation after 2035. Thanks to our planners and thanks to the National Education Policy, which has realized. And just to inform you, we are only, who are nurturing, which countries are nurturing this affiliated model of education? Only the countries which were ruled by the Britishers, colonial countries. It is there in Pakistan, it is there in China, it was there to some extent in China, it is in Nepal. So this was the model developed by Britishers. However, after independence also we continued with that model, rather religiously we expanded that model, and which has gone at today there are 900 plus institutions attached to the Mumbai University. Thankfully now country has realized, and we are reversing this, and we will go away from this affiliated model. So universities, largely our education is locked under the affiliating public university. That is one part. Then few institutions felt ki I am matured enough, I will develop my own curriculum. Then then UGC to such institutions examine and then confirm a deemed university status. Yes, we recognize the maturity and potential of this institution, and UGC confers a deemed university status to it. Which are deemed universities in our society? ICT, Institute of Chemical Technology, is a deemed university. So ICT, if you look at the history of ICT, it was a University Department of Chemical Technology. When I was student like you, at that time we used to call it as UDCT, University Department of Chemical Technology. It was a part of Mumbai University, rather a department of Mumbai University. Subsequently, it became autonomous in 2004. It became an autonomous institution where freedom was given to it to offer its own academics. And later on in 2012, it has become a deemed university. So institution which is specially empowered by the UGC to confer degrees. By law, only university, anything which titles as university only can confer the degrees. So ICT, is it a university per se? No. But it is deemed to be university as it is empowered to confer the degrees to its graduates. So that is deemed universities. And third is the private universities. UGC is a part of a central government. In our country, education is a concurrent subject. State also has got some power, center also has got power. Just like federal government. Our central government is like US federal government. So it has got power. So center through its power, central has conferred its power to the UGC. So UGC, any institution which is approved by the UGC can title itself as a deemed university. They are empowered to give the degrees. Similarly, state legislation, Maharashtra state, as a legislation, state can also confer someone this status. So some universities like Somaiya University we have in Mumbai, Somaiya University, we have in Pune, MIT University. MIT has 2 universities in Pune. Sandeep University at Nashik, Ghodawat University as Kolhapur. So these are the universities constituted by the state or approved by the state legislation. So who does the act? Maharashtra government makes an act and makes the private university. So every time a new university comes, it comes by the virtue of act. So So that is the private universities. But the difference is that whereas deemed universities can go anywhere and to start campuses, BITS Pilani is a deemed university. That's why we have main campus at Pilani and branches at Goa, Hyderabad, and even Kalyan. Kalyan has also started BITS campus. Right? They don't offer engineering, but they are offering law, design, and management education. They have gone to Dubai as well. Whereas state universities have a geographical jurisdiction of the state only. MIT cannot go to Indore and start a MIT at Indore. That is the difference between private university, deemed university, and public university. I hope you understood these differences.
What is the difference in learning in an autonomous college?
With
The-
autonomous college and normally affiliated
Yeah,
colleges.
ours is
Yeah, that is very important questions. See, I told you, education and in particular higher education has to be, I haven't told you, but I feel that higher education and that to be engineering education has to be autonomous. Freedom and autonomy is giving that freedom. You just try to understand that model. Let us assume that we are in the good olden days, Mumbai University, engineering discipline. One side we have students with 99.6 percentile in a computer branch. VCTI this year has closed 99.78, as we have closed in 99.7. Naturally, VCTI is little ahead than us. So they have closed at 99.75. So imagine a class whose last student is 99.75. Imagine the another college in Mumbai University, maybe 600 kilometers away, which has admitted a non-zero CET scorer, and the score could be 10. This is the reality. And tell me, which kind of academics can address this bandwidth? How can there will be same curriculum and same question paper? So what universities did? They averaged out. Mediocre question paper. Right? So, and in this process, the quality of education collapsed. I must have a curriculum and teaching, learning and evaluation processes which suit my learners. Question paper at SPIT has to be different than a question paper at some XYZ college in Amravati or some XYZ college in Bid. Otherwise, it is a great injustice on those bright students, group of students. Why bits are great? If you look at the bits, the bandwidth of the bit is very narrow. They don't have reservations. They don't have any reservations, right? I mean, whether it is good or bad, I won't comment. Rather, bits, it is their own approach. But their bandwidth is very low. Our bandwidth is little broad. But public university bandwidth is very large. One side 99.5, one side non-zero. And that has made injustice with both sides of the student. Students who have learning challenges and students who are bright. That was the problem of public universities. And that's why country like us, autonomy is needed. And because autonomy gives us a freedom to decide curriculum, decide teaching, learning, evaluation, which suits the student community of that institution. This is somewhere illogical. I am responsible to give a quality, but my curriculum is decided by someone else. I have no role in that. Someone else is setting the question paper and someone else is assessing those students. But I am made responsible to the quality I deliver. I think it is quite an injustice to an institution and to our community. That's why autonomy gives this freedom, and since we became autonomous, since our other institutions like COEP and all, VZTI have become autonomous, I feel there is some meaning which got attached to the education. I mean, we are responsible now, and we will do the experiments. We are learning. We are doing those experiments, learning from those experiments, and trying to improve and trying to just give a justice to the education being part. So I sincerely feel why IITs are great, because they are autonomous. Forget about the curriculum. IITs are great because each faculty is autonomous in IITs. How to teach a particular course. I mean, teacher A teaches differently and teacher B teaches differently. Education has to be free. Then only innovations come. With a set rules and set processes and formats, anything which is too formatted, innovation dies there. So that's why I feel to click the innovation, particularly engineering education, autonomy is a prerequisite for excellence. I hope you agree with this issue point.
What is the term empowered autonomy?
Yeah, very interesting question. From where you learn this? See, recently we are conferred empowered autonomous status. We became autonomous in 2018, and within 5 years, we were conferred with this status by Mumbai University. I must thank them. We were young. There are many other institutions which were autonomous in the city. I mean, which are autonomous in the city from last 15 years, 20 years. I must thank university. They conferred this status. But interestingly, I am also not aware what is this empowered status. I have inquired there. So they are also little confused about this empowered. But it is now understood that now the degrees will be conferred by Mumbai University. But on degree name, our institute name and logo will also come. So at present, the empowerment is constrained with the fact that only on the degree name, our name will also appear. Hopefully, as we progress, there will be more and more empowerment. But I am clearly seeing, is my perception, our national education policy has declared by 2035, we shall have 3 types of institutions: learning universities, research universities, rather 4 types of institutions. There will be 3 types of universities. Research universities, who predominantly do the research, and education is a byproduct. Undergraduate degrees and postgraduate degrees are a byproduct, but the focus is the research, like IITs. Then institutions like NITs, IIITs, who will do both. So there would be a set of institutions which will do teaching and research, bifocal. I will do research, I will also do the graduation, degrees. Focus is bifocal institution. And there would be institutions which are purely, mainly doing education, mainly nurturing out the graduates and postgraduates, and research is a byproduct. These private universities today you see in the market, what is Vellore? What is SRM? What is even BITS? Do you really claim that BITS is a research university? Research is a byproduct. They engage in the research, but they are mainly the undergraduate universities, right? It's a deemed research, undergraduate technology university. So having said so, policy has also said there would be another class of institution which will be empowered to confer the degrees. And I am hopeful that today we have become empowered autonomous institution. That empowerment will lead us tomorrow to confer our own degrees as per the NEP. So, what is difference between autonomous and empowered autonomous? Tomorrow, I am hopeful as per the national education policy, we shall be allowed to give our own degrees. I will give an example of NITs and triple ITs. Are they universities? IITs, are those universities? No. As a name for a name, if you look at that title, Indian Institute of Technology, National Institute of Technology, Nagpur, NIT Nagpur, VNIT Nagpur, or triple IT Prayagraj, or triple IT Pune. These are national institutions which are empowered by Act to confer the degrees. Similarly, I am hopeful tomorrow, through national education policy provision, we shall be allowed to confer our own degrees as an empowered autonomous institution. I am hopeful for that tomorrow. Understood the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, recently we have our freshers coming in. Abhi students का 12th standard हुआ है. There are very common doubts they have and they approach us. But we feel we should ask you these doubts so that you could answer them better. We do have answers, but I'm sure your answers are going to clear all their doubts. So,
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I would like to ask you, what are the emerging fields in engineering that a 12th grader who has now given his boards should consider taking?
Yeah, emerging fields, people today talk more about, everywhere people are talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, security, smart materials, smart energy systems, e-mobility happening, smart technologies, construction technologies. If you look at every domain, some emerging fields are there, biotech. So new fields are emerging out. Merging is happening. And newer fields are coming out. But for undergraduate education, I would say that one should look at more towards the basic branches. More, because education is just like a pyramid. And your undergraduation is the foundation. Education, foundation for that education. So, people should look at towards those foundations more. Emerging field and super specializations are the field of research and masters and all. Normally, undergraduate students need not bother much about what are those particular field and think about getting an undergraduate degree in emerging field. Sometimes it is all happening in our society. There are super specialization happening in the medical education, but have they changed their MBBS degree? I still remember what is the MBBS curriculum today, and it was 20 years back or 30 years back. It's more and less same.
Yeah.
The philosophy is that you teach entire human body in MBBS, then you teach a system at post-graduation, and at a super specialization you just pick up an organ.
Yeah.
I'm a super specialist of, say, heart, cardiologist.
Okay. So instead, you are suggesting that we should.
Yeah, we need, as an undergraduate student, one should not much bother about what are those emerging fields, and we should
build their foundation.
We should build the foundation, and believe me, every conventional foundational branch of engineering has enough emerging fields. Right? If you talk about electrical, smart grid, microgrid, if you ask me, is the power system an electrical field today? My honest answer is that perhaps it's not. It's a field for a computer engineering. I mean, because it has got so involved, so evolved, and so complex, it is a complex computational problem to be dealt rather than conventional power system. So for me, power system problems are rather computational problems, right? For me, vehicle mobility is rather an electrical field than a mechanical. Otherwise, conventionally, 120 years, automobile is a mechanical core domain. But today I differ. I will say automobile is a computer domain. Who talks about those complex algorithms? I mean, when the Tesla's car,
Cybertruck.
Tesla
Electric
started the electric car. Someone quoted that it's a data center on wheels. Try to understand. Data center on wheels, that much code and that much digital hardware resides in that car so as to make it driverless and such a performance to deliver. I mean, emerging fields are in every domain because research and development happens on the intersections of the fields.
Yes.
Where the biology is intersecting the technology, today if you look closely, where the world is moving, which technologies are emerging, where engineering, if you look at broadly engineering is going closer to the nature in biology. And that's the perhaps reason why smart people have started teaching biology in curriculum and in engineering. Because clearly engineering is very... What is AI? Isn't it a step in that direction?
Another very common doubt which students have is what are the factors one should consider while they're selecting a college?
Yeah, I think in our society that confusion is quite great because there is a lesser freedom to a learner to decide on. What your parents suggest, what your brother suggests, what your friends are doing are the influencing factor, right?
Yes.
Rather than your own perception towards the education. That is the
Peer pressure.
that is peer pressure, yes. What others are doing. So कॉलोनी में उसने ये किया, इसने ये किया, या इसलिए मुझे ये करना है. So I understand कि this is a confusion, and that confusion it has become more complex due to the several options nowadays. So many engineering colleges, just like on the western line itself, we have 24 engineering colleges.
Yes,
so ये अच्छा है क्या, वो अच्छा है, वो ये लेना चाहिए, वो लेना चाहिए. अच्छा, not only that, there are so many branches. I know few colleges who are offering 14 disciplines of engineering. 7 disciplines in only computer engineering. Computer engineering, computer science and engineering, right? Computer engineering with AI, ML, data science, security, blockchain and security. You name a combination, just like to give an analogy, sometimes I feel that like you go to some restaurant which offers Punjabi dishes, paneer is everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Matar paneer, paneer gobi, everywhere. You start reading the menu from first to last, it's paneer plus something.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, unfortunately, Indian education, in particular engineering education, has become that paneer wala story, computer and something, which is very dangerous, right? Check whether you are looking, you have long perspective or not. Are you talking in terms of 10 years, 15 years, or are you serious about a career of 40 years and 50 years? Longevity is increasing, average age of the world is increasing, average age of the country is increasing. At the independence, this country had a different average age. Today it is different. It is above 70.
Yes, sir.
With your generation, it will touch 80. You are going to work, Spurti, for 60 years in the life. You are a marathon player. because you will have to work 60 years, have that perspective, and for such a long duration, foundations are important. Broad the foundation, longer would be the journey. Who knows if tomorrow AI has a tsunami coming? I mean, people have started talking about it. NVIDIA is no more, I mean,
Saturation can be reached.
15 days before NVIDIA slash, right?
Yeah.
Disruptions will come and narrow base will put you on the risk. So this is one important factor one should consider. Second factor, are you how serious you are about to become engineer? I mean, are you really interested to stay engineer? Check yourself. Or would you like to migrate to business education? But when you are going to migrate to the business education, why you are breaking your head and getting so confused? Anyway, you are going to put another jacket. Why you are so bothered about the color of your shirt?
Yes,
My
sir.
simple question. If you are going to put a blazer, why you are so serious about a shirt's color? Ki this shade is better or that shade is better. Arey Baba, 4 years down the line, you are going to put another blazer. Right? So I would say, check yourself, and if you wish to be an engineer, then which branch is giving you enough opportunity, developing your analytical skills, right? Strong mathematics in the curriculum. These are important parameters for a player who is talking about the marathon. For someone who is saying, hey, I am a 200 meters runner, that stories are different, requirements are different. For someone who is committed to run 40 and 50 kilometers, his choices have to be different. So I would say, try to identify yourself. Look at the colleges around you. Don't put unnecessarily life in other stress, because in our society, unfortunately, life at different campus is very different.
Yes.
Only few places you have students have comfortable life. Unfortunately, education, I mean, for whatever reason, the reverse migration, I mean, if you see, 20 years back, people were happy to get education in Solapur, Kolhapur, Nashik, Aurangabad, Amravati. These are also cities, people live there. Right? I graduated from Aurangabad. I never regret that I had an education at Aurangabad. I had provided leadership 18 years at College of Engineering, Pune. I am providing leadership to this college.
Yes.
I mean, so many, my Aurangabad classmates have gone to such many places. I mean, they have conquered the world in different fields. So, but today the trends, I am really surprised that everyone wants to go in a higher education at Mumbai or Pune or something. Going to the metros is a craze. So one should not fall into that. People should look at where good faculty, where good facilities are there, and what is the point in saying no to a nearby college and going 500 kilometers down for nothing? I mean, just because word is going.
Yes, sir.
Right? I know many cases. I mean, the students are from Nagpur, and I know few Nagpur colleges which are as good as or as bad as our institution. I think there are good institutions at that place also, but no point. I mean, people are preferring that. So I would say you should consider all these factors. Your convenience. One British educationalist has quoted, "School next door is the best school." It's a quite deep sentence. School next door is the best school. Right? There's a meaning attached to it.
Based on your reply, this is one question which I had, which I'm sure even the students will have. When you talk about we have to run a long run, we have 20-30 years minimum of a job life to consider.
40-50.
40-50 years to consider. So what are the future scopes of domains? in demand are artificial intelligence and data science and all those. But apart from that, what are the future scopes?
question.
Your opinion on
Good
those?
question. Good question. What would be the future fields?
And considering there are so many engineers
what
passing
would
out
be the
in
emerging fields of 2040s?
Yes,
and
sir.
what would be the scope to a particular branch?
yes, sir. Considering there are so many students who are graduating in
so many
computer
graduating,
science,
what would be
you
there?
even get an opportunity there?
Actually, this has your later question has little different dimension, but I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
like to answer your first
Yes, sir.
focus, your first question, which is very interesting question. When I have to run 40-50 kilometers or years, and 40-50 years is going to be my professional life. What I have to face 15 years down the line or 30 years down the line, so that I prepare for itself. For that, those fields and those challenges is a natural curiosity. Natural question. I appreciate that. But my honest answer, honestly, I feel that no one can give the answer what field will emerge in 2040. Word has become so disruptive. I tell you my personal story.
Yes, sir.
In 2000, I was in IIT Mumbai. I never imagined that 10 years down the line there would be a smartphone in my pocket and I would be able to do email, I will be able to do the financial transaction. I was a PhD of IIT Mumbai. An electrical engineer couldn't imagine that 10 years down the line he is going to have and the processor would be a 6-core processor and I will have gigabytes of memory in my smartphone and that camera DSLR which my sister-in-law gifted me will be useless and hanging in my house because all all function would be done in the camera.
Phone itself.
I was not knowing, right? So technologies are moving in such a pace. Disruptions are happening. Check the top 10 in the corporates in the world in last 10 years. They are not identical. What they were, that list is not identical to the list which was in 2010. It was not what it was in 2000.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Where is GE today in that list, which has ruled the world for 70, 80, 90 years?
You cannot see it.
Yeah.
Where is GM? Today you say Tesla is the big automotive manufacturer. What has happened to GM and Ford?
So few of the companies we aren't even aware. This generation isn't aware about those names. Sir.
And Nvidia. Look at the Nvidia's
Downfall.
growth. Look at where the Adani is within 5 years. Disruptions happening, and I am unable to see. But my advice to you is that in such a disruptive world, the mantra to survive, mantra to progress would be to adopt lifelong learning. Embed self-learning skills. If you are ready to learn, then journey's length will not a problem.
Yes, sir. Of course.
If you have mindset to stop the learning, you land into the problem.
Yes.
But as long as you are open-minded and you are willing to learn on every walk of life, every step of life, let the field change, let the challenges change, let the disruptions happen, you will sail through.
Definitely, sir. Sir, another very common doubt. Again, options confusions. Should you give importance to a particular branch which you have in mind, or should you give importance to a particular college?
Yeah. $1 million question. Because I also experience so many parents come and they ask question, sir, they visited electrical बरं राहील का डीजे संगीतचं IT चांगलं राहील का तुमचं ENTC चांगलं राहील. So I get confused. अरे बाबा, where this man is talking, one thing he is saying visit here, then someone would come and say, sir, COEP mechanical, or should we take your ENTC or VIT's IT? Now, I mean, just as an analogy, isn't it something asking, sir, should I go for chicken tikka or paneer tikka? Right? Distinct, right?
Absolutely,
I mean,
sir.
normally engineering is divided, we divide at least, I mean, broadly it is divided in 4 or 5 domains: civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, chemical and computers. If you look at the engineering, all fields of engineering, they are divided in these 5 sectors. And suddenly, how can you compare one sector to the other? Isn't it? That question, whether would you like paneer tikka or chicken tikka? I mean, how can you jump the sectors? Means that you don't have inner any interest in engineering. Nothing wrong in that. I won't say that at 12th students should develop a liking towards a particular branch of engineering. Fair. And that's why this confusion is there.
Because they aren't aware about the branches altogether.
Correct. In Western education, where there is more freedom, right? People normally prefer themselves whether I want to be civil engineer or why I want to be chemical engineer. In our society, it's mostly branch selection is a parent driven, right? Society driven. Rarely it is a self driven. That's why this confusion exists. I would say, try to answer, are you seriously interested in a particular branch of engineering, or just because word is going there, I want to go there? Right? Check yourself. Where you are good at. Are you more, I mean, where that, which physics chapters have excited you? Because every branch of engineering has emerged from that. Has electricity and magnetism has excited you little more than other chapters of heat and maybe mechanics when you were students of 11th and 12th? If you were comfortable with electricity and magnetism, all electrical domain branches are good for you. Whether electrical, ENTC, instrumentation, because you are good at its foundation. If you were good in mechanics and dynamics and thermal and heat, all mechanical domain branches are good to you. And civil branches also. Because finally civil mechanical, I mean, you need mechanics, you need dynamics, right? Fluid. And if you are reasonably good at chemistry, chemical technology, material sciences are good for you. Check that. But if you can't make your choices, I would say, in today's time, as your branch of preference is available everywhere, you go for a branch. Why you are comparing one thing with you have left house to purchase mangoes. You decided that I will eat mango today. You go in a market, then at one thela you get say some mangoes. You just go there, you get some say oranges. And then you are confused, मैं उसका mango लूँ कि इसका orange लूँ क्या उसका गावा लूँ? Because that gawa is more attractive. Why you get confused? If you have chosen, if you have decided that today I wish to enjoy mangoes, ठीक है mangoes खा लो because its options are available, right? Yes. And I don't feel that a college which is marginally better than the other, you should change your choices. Yes. Right? So. And finally, the basic question is, do the colleges make careers? Tell me a college which guarantees a career. Do the IITs are guaranteeing the careers?
It's always
Is it a guarantee that if you get IIT Bombay, you are going to get a successful career?
It's interest driven, sir.
It is all self-driven.
Yes.
Institutions are giving you only a platform, only an opportunity,
Correct.
right? If I give you world-class shoes, will it make you a player? Will it guarantee you that you will be a runner? No. It will give you a slightly better chances to be a runner, better comfort in achieving your dreams.
Because there are many students that have a good percentile but yet choose EXTC. There is no harm in choosing EXTC because they have their domain of interest in EXTC, but they are getting comms, but because of the branch that they want.
Who has given right to our society to say comp is better education than ENTC education?
There are many such
I mean, our language, this society's perception, our understanding is this branch is better than this branch is, it is because we are an immature society, we have labeled this title looking at the wallet and the offers the students are getting. Okay? Very unfortunate.
Yes.
Check why none of our 5 IITs have not started in a department like AI, ML, data science and all. If it has gained so much importance, what is restricting IITs to start a new department of AI, ML, data science, machine learning, blockchain?
Sir, I think majority of the confusions come from the fact that they aren't aware what exactly are the different domains of engineering. So they have to decide that by themselves. The society cannot choose for them.
My advice in a confused state, better stick with the old principle, larger the foundation, better is the stability. Better is the long life. This is the old wisdom. Why our pyramids had such a foundation and that those lasted 5,000 years.
You can always go on choosing specialization.
Specialization, once you become more mature, once you become more informed, take cautious decision.
Should students give importance to accredited programs like the colleges offer, and how much importance should be given to the accredited?
Yeah.
Program.
Accredited program.
Yes.
I would say if all other factors are comparable, prefer accredited programs. But don't attach too much weight to whether an institution is accredited or not. We have so many wonderful institutions which have denied to get accreditation. Right, and which we have, I observed several mediocre institutions getting accreditation. So don't attach too much weight whether a program is accredited or not, right?
Sir, in continuation to our previous discussion, you mentioned that currently in society there is a trend going on. जिधर किसी को अगर कंप्यूटर्स नहीं मिलता है तो वो फिर आईटी देखता है, फिर वो AIML, DS ऐसे देखते जाता है. तो हाउ हेल्दी इज इट फॉर द सोसाइटी टू डू दिस? आपके इस पे क्या ओपिनियंस और कमेंट्स है?
Yeah, I agree with you. In our society, there is a clear algorithm. I would say it is as if society behaves as if these are algorithmic. If you do not get computer, then go to the computer science and engineering. If not, then go to the ENTC. If not, come to electrical. In between some data science and all, right? If not, then somewhere at near bottom you have civil, then not go to metallurgy, then planning, textile, and this is very unfortunate, I would say. It's not forget healthy, it's an unfortunate for a society. These algorithms are changing. I clearly remember a day when mechanical has become important. I mean, computer, then mechanical. ENTC was backstage. Then there was the era, I remember why, there was the era in the country where metallurgy was the toppest. When I was a student, production was the Maharashtra's first choice.
Oh, production.
People would go to visit a production. UDCT chemical. I remember I learned there was the era when metallurgy was the top choice at College of Engineering Pune. It was country's top choice.
Oh.
And today's scene is different. It's a blind rush. I will say it's a mad rush. And it's dangerous for the society. Society is, these preferences, if you closely monitor, they are linked with the only salary factors.
Correct.
Today, computer engineers are getting best and good salaries. That's why computer is the choice of education. In those days, in the 50s and 60s, countries, steel plants were being erected. Tata Steel, this steel and Bokoro Steel and metallurgy, Indian industry. We were in the initial phases of industrialization. Heavy industries was coming. Every industry needed metallurgy engineers. Perhaps metallurgy engineers would have multiple offers even they failed engineering. There was an era, you have failed engineering, still you had 2-3 offers in the pocket. And our society choices was metallurgy engineering. So I would say we are yet immature in education. We are, as a society, we need to be little mature, and I am hopeful within 1 or 2 decades, the way in which our economy is moving, the way in which our society is changing, within couple of decades, we shall also become as mature as developed countries, our society, and there cautiously students will choose the domains of learning as per their choices, not from the compulsions of salaries and all.
Correct.
It has happened unfortunately even in the medical field. I remember when I was an engineering student, someone who couldn't get surgery or couldn't get medicine or couldn't get ortho used to go to the radiologist. Bright student used to think, radiologist banke kya karna? Dermatologist banke kya karna? You know what is the today choice of the medical students?
I think dermatology has the highest cut of skincare.
Number 1 branch of the country has become skin care, which was the last preference 30 years back.
Correct.
Because people are looking only towards earning. And you know what is the factor, dominating factor?
Yes.
कि patient से जितना दूर है उतना अच्छा डॉक्टर. Where we are landing? इंजीनियरिंग में भी क्या, जहाँ पे मुझे ज्यादा चैलेंज नहीं है, एसी में बैठना है, इजी गो लाइफ चाहिए, अच्छी सैलरी चाहिए. That's why computer. Computer engineering has done miracles, and there are enough. Opportunity that is there. I don't deny that, but I am worried about this fixed algorithm.
Correct.
At least there should be 10% exception to these algorithms. How can an entire society have this monocolor approach?
Okay, so as we know, there are hundreds of colleges.
And
To add to my question.
Just to complete the answer, tell me a real life problem which is monocolor. We are not thinking that this gadget has several technologies embedded in that.
Correct.
Do you think that without excellent chemical engineers, without excellent material science, without excellent VLSI engineers, without this plastic and polymer engineering, without optophysicists and without mathematics and without and other domain expert, this product is possible?
Impossible.
Tell me,
Impossible. There's no such
but
case.
we are moving as if that without computers nothing is possible. And we are a society which needs growth in every domain.
They're getting narrow-minded.
We want our construction industry double-digit growth. We want our agriculture. We want our biotech. We want our medicine. If this country has to prosper and reach that Vikasit Bharat as being dream, all domains should flourish. How can that society which has only a fixed algorithm give justice to that or can fulfill that dream?
So true, sir.
So, sir, as we know, there are hundreds of colleges, engineering colleges only in Maharashtra. So, amongst them, what differs or what are the uniqueness of SPIT?
Interesting. Yeah. We are unique. Let me assure that. There are so many Indian colleges.
Yeah.
You know, Maharashtra, to my knowledge, has around 55 colleges.
Right.
Country has close to 4,000 colleges. 4,000.
That's a big number.
Very big number. We are number one in the world in producing engineers. Are you aware of that? Next is China. 2 years back we beat China and we have become number one engineer producing country, not company.
Yeah.
So we produce 1.5 million undergraduates every year, right? 4,000 colleges. So many colleges. And if you look at, as I was explaining in addressing the previous question, our most of education, unfortunately, is locked by the affiliated model of education. Thankfully, Maharashtra had different model, but in a country, just like SSC boards, there is the engineering board, so-called as the university, which is taking care of the entire state education. This model was started by VTU, Belgaum, Karnataka, Vishwesvaraya Technology University. All engineering colleges in the state were affiliated to it.
Okay.
In country, every state has a technical university and all colleges are affiliated to that. Right? Affiliated colleges, I have told the problem because there is a large bandwidth and curriculum and all decided by the university. Colleges have no role. As a teacher, as an institute, I cannot decide what is to be taught. I cannot decide how it is to be taught. I cannot decide how the learners are to be evaluated and assessed. Okay? So, entire freedom, academic freedom is lost. Thankfully, government, university have given us that freedom in 2017. And being a small institution, being a Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan institution which works on ethics and ethos, which has values, ethos, we are not just an institution, we are culture by itself, Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan. Right? And we are experimenting, providing unique opportunity, trying to make education holistic. We understand that education cannot be monocle. How can engineering survive without humanities? Without some introduction to cultural, societal, philosophical aspects. And we have tried to make education as flexible as possible. If you look at our curriculum, I would say it is little light, more flexible, where students have more opportunities. Right from first year you have electives.
Yeah.
I mean, we are not saying ki you learn engineering graphics or you learn applied mechanics because I learned 40 years back. My curriculum had engineering graphics, that's why you learn engineering graphics.
Students
and draw
have the
those
choices.
sheets and all. Right? Or learn physics or learn chemistry. We say later, today's learner is enough mature. Today's learner is enough informed. Let him have his own choices. Who are we to say that all students should necessarily learn biology? We'll say you can also learn the biology. Right? You can also learn the material sciences. So this is the approach of SPIT, giving more and more freedom so that we move a step or few steps in the direction of choice-based education system. Right? Where the learner decide what to learn. Right? Due to physical constraint, we cannot offer truly a choice-based education system like a Western countries, like a few US universities. But offering more and more electives in the curriculum, where students can decide few science electives, students can decide humanities, student can decide open elective, student can decide whether I go for research internship or industry internship. If you see our curriculum, almost 40% are choices given to the students.
Yes.
And only 50-60% is some mandatory part. Okay, you have to learn 4 mathematics, you will have to learn 12 core courses that institute insists, right? We are allowing students to learn from books. You know, we are the only institution out of this 4,000 institution which has said that research can happen at undergraduate. And you know, last year our 40 students were in IIT Mumbai.
Yeah.
Total 55 students have gone for a 6-month research internship. And last year, our final year students have submitted 5 IEEE transaction papers. And you know what is transaction paper? Out of 25 PhDs submitted in a Mumbai university, hardly anyone produces a IEEE transaction. PhDs I am talking. 25 PhD में से जो आउटपुट मिलता है, our undergraduate students are giving that output because they have, I mean, we connected them into the research.
Have the freedom.
Right at 3rd year level. See, today, youth generation have enormous potential. Today, generation has, I mean, education has changed dramatically. Best of best is available to all students, all learners. And education just should trigger them and give them more freedom, and I would say not put hurdles in their learning. that should education do. And SPIT is precisely doing that. We are not doing anything great, but we are not doing at least hurdles in your path, right? And giving you, encouraging you to learn from different places, cross learning, multidisciplinary learning, holistic education, physical development and all. There are so many courses at SPIT which talk about physical development, physical quotient, emotional quotient. Who told you only IQ is needed? Right? I have realized in my professional life, beyond a certain age, your EQ is more important than your IQ.
Correct.
How good you are as a person, how good you are for your team, how do you take care of your people around you, in your family, in your business, in your company is more important. Right? So it's not always of IQ and IQ. EQ is important. It's attitudinal development, how to develop attitude in the schools and colleges. We are trying some efforts in that direction. We strongly believe education is not constrained only in the classrooms and the laboratories. Education happens everywhere. Education happens in travel. Education happens on playgrounds. Education happens on stage. While moving in a society, I believe only 1/3 education happens in colleges, in classrooms, and the rest 2/3 happens on all walks of life. We are trying to give that realization to the students, and by design making a holistic, trying to make it, but how much will succeed, time will come, time will tell. But we are making efforts. And I would say, with those considerations, if you compare our curriculum with even IIT's curriculum or NIT's curriculum, you will not find such a multicolor approach, such a holistic approach, approach
To the students in the
to many, I mean, hardly a very few institution would have such. As far as research internship is concerned, we are unique. We are only the institution in this country who are sending students for research internship. Last five semesters we are winning AA certification. We are getting AA certification for NPTEL. IIT Bombay is citing other institution. SPIT is example कि how flexible, how empowering institution is and allowing to take credits and considering those credits for awarding the degrees. So many students, last time more than 2,000 credits we earned from the NPTEL system. Almost all students, haven't you learned through NPTEL yet?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
So we are allowing students to learn from anywhere. Right? These are uniqueness. Still many institutions are conservative. But if you look at Maharashtra, we are leaders in books. We are leaders in liberal learning. Look at the liberal learning concept and the basket. So these are the, I would say, salient features of the curriculum we offer. And Sumrit, with regards to your that query,
Yes, sir.
which branch and this is important or that branch is important, please note that no real life product or system is a monocolor.
Perfect. Correct, sir.
It's a multicolor. I was referring to the mobile. It is a convergence of several technologies that has given this product. Look at the power supply. Is it only electronics?
No.
Don't you need a good thermal people to design heat sinks and all?
Yes, sir.
Is the electrical motor an electrical product? I mean, is the electrical field? I would say rather it is constrained by the mechanical. Because machine design, electrical motor design is rather thermal and mechanical design. How do I dissipate that heat generated in a machine is the limiting factor of designing the electric motors. How my material will, how my mechanical design will withstand those huge forces which are generated in an electric generator is a mechanical problem.
So true. Yes, sir.
Right? So things are different. I mean, if you give a little thinking, all branches are important. Rather, if you look at a very broad perspective, in last century we observed the divergence of branches. 1900 mechanical was at the top. People were making machines, guns, those rangaras, and submarines, mechanical things. Then electrical came. Then people started talking about walls, then diodes, and then transistors came. If you look at how the engineering has progressed, right? Different branches, different domains emerged out. Today it is a computer world.
Out of necessity.
Yesterday it was different. But that doesn't mean that today there is no value to the mechanical engineering. There is no value to the all branches are equal. Right?
Yes.
Only due to economy, certain branches gain more importance in terms of opportunities and all. But for a society, for a country, for a real life engineering system and application, all branches are needed, all branches are important, all domain of education is important. Because real life problems and system do not have branch tag attached to it.
Correct. So true. Yes, sir. A question.
So, there are students coming up for the admission. So there were many questions like if they get admitted to any branch in our college, is there any flexibility for the college or for the student to upgrade or to change their branch after the first year?
Yeah. There is a possibility of branch change, but the provision is that if there are vacancies, then only branch or someone cancels the admissions, that creates a vacancy.
Right.
Then only branch change is possible. This year, in your second year, we had 6 students who have changed their branches, right? Because there were 6 cancellations happened in previous year.
Okay.
After after cut-off date, due to various reasons. Someone might have gone to BITS, someone is fed up with engineering, someone
Some medical issues.
yeah, conditions due to their personal issues
Right.
you have cancelled, and again, or someone has failed. So though the failure is almost zero at our institution, very minimum, maybe 1% or 2% at our institution, I would say don't rely on the brand change.
Right.
Because the
Correct.
way in which engineering results, nowadays engineering results are very encouraging. Hardly, unless student makes special efforts, they do not fail.
Right.
You have to make special efforts to fail. Right? So there is no possibility of brand change. And one should not decide and one should not have in that false hopes कि अभी ये ले लेते अगले साल वो लेते
Yeah.
कोई जरूरत नहीं जो ब्रांच मिल गई करो पैशन से करो सक्सेस with passion everything will come.
Right. So true, sir. Yes, sir. So in Sardar Patel Institute of Technology in SPIT, we have a large number of courses. A lot of these courses, such as the educational courses, must be common and synchronous with other engineering colleges. So what are some courses other than education that help in the holistic development of a SPIT student?
So I was referring to we have humanities which is mandatory. You are learning finance, economics, foreign languages, law.
True.
Law
Yes,
is a course offered at SPIT. So we understand the importance of humanities. So humanities are offered. Liberal learning is offered.
Correct.
Right? So we are trying to introduce the student in the different disciplines. Today people say, mature people say, give them a cross-disciplinary, multidisciplinary environment. See, higher education is all about connecting the dots.
Yes, sir.
School education is all about repetition. Okay, I have taught you something and I expect you to repeat it.
Right.
Higher education is that I am putting a dot here, I am putting a dot here, and giving you a freedom to fill those, to connect those two dots. More diversity is more joyful it will be.
Yes.
And that we are trying to attain. If I give you several dots, then I am restricting you to move in a certain path.
Right.
So we are trying to give a multiple, cross-disciplinary, multidisciplinary exposure so that someone would prefer a curve to connect two dots. Someone may prefer a zigzag or a spiral approach to connect those two dots, and that may be a joyful journey to him. Or someone would prefer a straight connection.
Everyone gets explore to their interests.
Variety is the spice of life, they say.
So, people are cooking at institute and earning the credit. People are skipping and earning the credit. People are trekking and earning the credit.
Yes.
People are dancing and earning the credit. I think, and it's giving some joy, giving some different. Why I have put this? We have put these courses like painting. People laugh at me sometimes. What is this college? Their students are skipping and they are grading them. Any change in work is a relaxation to the mind.
It is.
So we think with the rigorous engineering studies and all, a little relaxation is also necessary.
Yes, sir.
And what is harm in earning some academic credit if a learner is investing his time and energy? See, credit is misunderstood in our society. For us, academic credit is one lecture attended or 2 hours practical performed. It's not, it's beyond that. When I am saying that I have one, my student has 1 credit, it is an assurance given to the society. This student has worked 40 to 50 hours in this semester towards certain goal, and therefore he has earned 1 credit. So when you say this semester I have completed 20 credits, society assumes you have worked 800 to 1000 hours. So there is a definite investment from the learner side.
Yes, sir.
Right?
So I think that is all from our side.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Quite interesting to answer your questions.
Thank you,
We
sir.
were also glad to know these answers. Like
Yes.
this would be much helpful for the students getting admitted this year to our college or to any other college in Maharashtra or India.
Yeah, I agree to that because more choices, you have more confusion.
Yeah.
Every city has several colleges, every college has several branches, right? So it is no wonder that the students and their parents are confused. But I hope this conversation
It will
help them. Will help them. These are our own. This is based on my experience. These are based on my observation. This is based on my learning, which is happening. Continuous learning is a continuous process.
Yeah.
The experience, what I have said, I have shared. These are my personal views. Right or wrong, let the viewers
Audience decide.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your patience. Your profound wisdom will surely help us, and your beautiful language, sir, most importantly.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So that was a great session. I hope most of your doubts were cleared. Definitely you can go ahead and ask us a few more questions. How do you think about that, sir?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like if I was still a student, which I am not anymore, and I was in this entire engineering paradigm, a lot of the confusions that I've had would have been cleared up. But in any case, if you have still additional questions to throw away, please send them our way, drop them in the comments, reach out to us on our social handles, all that good stuff. We'll be sure to get back to you. And that's it from us. We'll see you all in the next edition. Bye, folks.
Thank you. Bye-bye.